Hello everyone, my name is Mark, and this is my wife Sarah.
Today, the two gamers are going to teach you how to play Fate of Venterra.
Fate of Venterra is a unique asymmetrical war game for 2 to 5 players, during which players will, over the course of 6 rounds, explore the map, build their empire, complete quests, and battle over territories, all to gain as many influence points as they can in order to claim sovereignty over the land. Blood will be spilled. This is the fate of Venterra.
Keep in mind, as we show you this game, this is a pre-production copy. Nothing has been finalized, and there are some things that may change. To set up your game of Fate of Venterra, each player chooses or is randomly given a faction, along with all of that faction's pieces.
Place the mastery board to the side of the play area. Place the wooden round counter on the first round spot. Then each player's faction token on the initiative track in the correct initiative order. When playing with less than 5 players, move the tokens to the left to fill in the gaps.
Shuffle the Power of the Gods cards and the quest cards and place each deck in their corresponding place on the board. Draw 3 cards from each deck and place them face up, filling in all available spaces. Place this game's chosen territory card in its space on the board.
Place the wealth pool within reach of all players. Place a token for each player on the first spot of the battle track and on the development track. Place 1 token for each player to the right of the bidding reward area.
Now each player will take part in building the map. Choose one side of the starting board for this game. Then each player in initiative order will take 2 map tiles and place them touching the starting board in any orientation of their choice. Alternatively, players may use one of the pre-built map setups in the rules booklet. This is recommended for first-time players.
Next, you will populate the map. Each player takes from their supply their starting buildings and units. Then, in initiative order, players place their fortress, starting building, and units on the map with the following restrictions. Hex buildings must be placed on the edge of the map, at least 3 spaces from another hex building, and cannot be placed on the starting tile. The Elder Priest and Kajer cannot be placed on water. Circle and square buildings must be placed adjacent to their fortress on a forest or a mountain territory. Finally, place all units in territories occupied by your buildings in any order.
Now, find all unoccupied territories with obelisks and place the Explore tokens with 2 defense on them. Fill in the remaining unoccupied territories by placing 0s on water and desert, and 1s on mountains and forests.
Place your remaining pieces on your player board in their corresponding spaces. Place the 3 upgrade cards onto your board over the faction upgrade symbol. Make sure the cost side is face up. Place a unit reference card over the unit symbol with the basic units side face up. Make a hand with the following cards from your faction cards: Charge, Plan, Reinforce, and Maneuver. Then take leader cards with a total of 3 wealth into your hand, in addition to the card labeled Treaty. Place the remainder of your leader cards off to the left of your player board, face up. You are now ready to play Fate of Venterra.
A game of Fate of Venterra will be played over 6 rounds. Each round will consist of 6 phases, with a bidding phase at the end of rounds 2, 4, and 5.
In the income phase, players will collect income, designated by a black arrow over a corresponding symbol. This could be wealth or battle or development points, for which you will move up on the corresponding track. This may be done simultaneously by all players.
Each player has the same 4 command cards. During the declare phase, players will simultaneously, secretly choose 2 of them to use in the current round. Once everyone has chosen, all chosen cards are revealed for all to see.
Phases 3 and 4 are 2 command phases during which the bulk of the game will take place. Starting with the first player on the initiative track and following initiative order, players will resolve 1 of their 2 chosen command cards in Phase 3, and then the other in Phase 4.
Once all players have finished resolving their second command card, and all command cards are back in their owner's hands, each player in initiative order may complete up to 1 of their reserved quest cards. Ensure that you currently meet the quest's requirement, or pay its cost. Then you gain the reward and move the card to your completed quests area.
After the quest phase, each player must pay for the upkeep of any large army they have on the board. This includes any army in a single territory with a supply value over 3. That player must pay 1 wealth for each supply over 3, or sacrifice those units they can't or do not wish to pay for.
The last phase of a round is the bidding phase, and it is only at the end of rounds 2, 4, and 5. Each player will bid any amount of their current wealth by secretly enclosing the coins in one hand. Players will then simultaneously reveal the amount of wealth they bid, pay all of that wealth, and adjust the initiative track accordingly. The player that bid the most will take the first space, followed in descending bid amount. All ties are broken by the player currently in the first space, including if the tie is for the first space. You will then choose bidding rewards in the new initiative order. Once this is finished, move the round tracker and start a new round.
Now that you understand the flow of the game, let's go back and talk about those command cards and how to resolve them.
The 4 command cards are Plan, Reinforce, Maneuver, and Charge. When resolving a command card, a player may perform any or all actions on the command card, but all actions taken must be in order from top to bottom. When resolving the Plan card, you may first reserve up to 2 quest cards from the Mastery board, either face up or from the draw pile. You may then either march 2 units or gain 2 wealth. When marching units, you may move each unit a number of land hexes up to that unit's march value. A space with one of your ships may be used as a bridge across a water hex and does not use up any movement. Once all movement is complete, resolve any exploring or battles initiated by the marches. More on that shortly.
When resolving the Reinforce card, you will first recruit any 1 unit by paying its cost in wealth, and then place that unit on any hex with one of your buildings. If placing a ship, it must be placed in a water hex adjacent to one of your buildings. After recruiting, you may upgrade any building you have on the map that does not already have an upgrade. To do this, you will select an upgrade that matches the building type you have chosen, pay 2 wealth, and insert the upgrade into the top of the building. If there are any immediate benefits, you may gain those now. Once you have upgraded, you may build any of your remaining buildings on a land hex without a building but is currently under your control. That is, with at least 1 of your units. Pay 3 wealth and place the chosen building on that hex. If there are any immediate benefits, you may gain those now. Note that when resolving a Reinforce card, building comes after upgrading. Therefore, you cannot upgrade a building that was just built using the Reinforce action alone. Note that each time you pay to build or upgrade a building, you will move up 1 space on the development track. If the new space you landed in has a bonus, you take that bonus immediately for free.
If you have chosen to resolve the maneuver card, you will first march any number of units from one chosen hexagon, as well as march any one support unit. To do this, choose any hex currently occupied by your own units and march any of them away from that space up to their march value. They do not have to end movement in the same space. Therefore, you can set up multiple battles or exploration with one maneuver. You may also march any unit that has the support designation from any space you occupy. Don't forget that all water spaces are considered adjacent for marching ships, and that your ships can act like a bridge over water, giving units one extra space they can march. After resolving any exploration or battles that ensue, you may buy one faction upgrade, paying the requisite wealth and flipping the card to its active side. Or you may recruit one unit using previously discussed rules.
The first step of resolving the charge card is much the opposite of the maneuver card. Hence, the arrows pointing in rather than out. You will choose any one hexagon on the board and march any number of your units to that hex that can reach that hex according to their march value. These units can come from any of your occupied territories provided they are within marching range. As previously stated, your ships can act like a bridge over water. You may also march one support unit. Once you have completed any marches and the resulting exploration or battles, you may then gain 2 wealth, or buy any number of your available leader cards by paying the requisite total wealth and putting them in your hand.
Battles will occur when, after any player resolves all marches for a single action, there are one or more spaces that contain more than one faction's units. When this happens, the player whose units marched are considered attacking units, and the attacking player may choose which order to resolve all necessary battles. Once a conflicted territory is chosen, the attacking player will declare all units participating in the battle, including supporting ships in adjacent water spaces. Any start of the battle abilities will happen now. The defender will follow by declaring any eligible support units they wish to participate. Each involved player then adds up their total value for the battle. The attacker will total their attack, while the defender will total their defense. Before resolving a battle effects happen now. Once each side has announced a current total, they may each secretly select a leader or command card from their hand to add to their total, or they can bluff, and then simultaneously reveal them, adding the appropriate number from their card to their previously stated total. You may bluff to draw out an opponent's leader card by playing a command card instead. A command card has a value of 0 when played in a battle.
You will now resolve the battle in one of 3 ways. If the defender has more defense than their opponent's attack, the attacker must choose and lose 1 unit from this territory and then retreat all remaining units to an adjacent empty, unexplored, or friendly territory. If attacker and defender have equal attack and defense respectively, each must then choose and lose 1 unit from this territory. Then the attacker must still retreat. Remember that ships may not be used to retreat over water. If the attacker has more attack than their opponent's defense, the defender must choose and lose 1 unit from this territory, and then retreat all remaining units as previously discussed. You may not retreat into a territory your opponent just attacked from. In all 3 of these situations, if there is no viable retreat option, all remaining retreating units are lost. If the territory you just conquered contained an opponent's building, you may replace it with one of your own of the same type, if any remain. Once all battles have been resolved for this action, the attacker moves up 1 space on the battle track, immediately gaining all rewards on the new space. Exploring is much the same as a battle, with the Explore token serving as the defender. You may play a leader card to add to your attack, and all possible battle resolutions still apply. If successful, you may gain the reward on the reverse side of the Explore token. At the end of the 6th and final round, after all actions and bonuses have taken effect, the game will end. Each player then adds all of their influence, which is any number within a green banner. Starting with your player board, add all influence in those green banners. Next, add all influence from completed quests to the left of your player board. Quests that were not completed are discarded and are not worth any points. Then add all influence from each territory you control. Refer to the territory card on the mastery board to see how much each territory is worth at the end of the game. Then add up all your influence from the battle track and development track on the mastery board. Finally, gain 1 influence for every 3 wealth. Tally all of these numbers together to find your final score. The player with the most points is the winner. If there is a tie, the player among those tied with the most units on the board is the winner.
There are many paths to consider, but in the end, only one can be named the victor. Who will decide the fate of Venterra? Is it you?
Thanks for joining the two gamers as we teach you how to play Fate of Venterra. Have fun playing games. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.